Poor Tenko! How could you do this to her?
Himiko.
Himiko, stop it with your crappy lies.
Lies?
Everything you said is total BS. You didn't give two shits about Tenko when she was alive. But now you're like, oh no, poor Tenko, after she's dead. Come on, really?
Kokichi, enough!
He's not wrong there.
No. It's okay. It's no surprise he'd think that. I know I ignored Tenko before. That's why I'm so upset now. I should have faced Tenko. Worked things out with her while she was still alive. But now, it's too late. I can't complain to her or thank her. It's too late.
Yeah, seriously! It's way too late to realize that now. Our only option is to face her death head on.
Yeah. Face her death?
The seance?
Himiko, I understand what you're going through. So I'm gonna help you out. Let's work together to find the truth.
How do you understand what she's going through?
I'm not gonna let anyone say her death didn't matter.
Kaito. All right. I'll put a silencing curse on whoever calls Tenko's death meaningless.
We discussed how she lifted the cage.
The name of the curse is Death Curse.
I suppose being dead would silence someone pretty good.
Listen up! All you guys are gonna help out too. Abandoning someone who died and only thinking about your own survival. That's just as bad as a hit and run! I won't forgive something so messed up!
Tenko was our friend. Gonta wanna know why she died too!
I already told you that's so unnecessary. We're getting sidetracked here.
Watch out, she'll put a death curse on you.
No, even if it was a different culprit, we need to know how Tenko died. If we don't find out who killed her, we won't be able to work together. Not now, not ever. Even if this trial isn't for her, in order for us to survive, we need to get to the bottom of Tenko's death. Not just to survive this trial, but so we can keep going and live on!
Kaito.
Finally, you noticed. Jeez, you're so slow.
Huh? Did Kokichi want us to notice?
Don't listen to his crap. We haven't decided whether there were two different culprits yet.
Let us talk about Tenko's case then. Perhaps that will provide us a clue.
Yeah, maybe.
Tenko. Can we say that Tenko's a murderer yet? I don't mind going over Tenko's case. That was an abrupt change of topic. Was that intentional?
So, what do we talk about first?
For now, let's see if we can narrow down the list of suspects.
Tancrotch probably got killed during the seance, so everyone there's suspicious.
Tancrotch!
People who attended the seance. Kibo left, didn't he? So, it's actually...
That's it! It was me, Kyo, Himiko, and Kokichi.
So those four are the culprits!
No.
Oh, Himiko's still culprit?
Well, that's probably just a coinkydink. The most suspicious out of the four is really... Kyo. He suggested the whole seance idea.
Again, Himiko was next to that hole in the corner.
True, I may have suggested it, but I explained the procedure beforehand, yes?
Since the beginning, I thought Himiko killed Tenko because Tenko killed Angie. Still believing that until proven otherwise.
If we all knew of it before the murder, then we are all equally suspicious.
Well, I suppose, but...
In addition, the seance wasn't entirely in my control either. I was not the one who selected the room we performed it in. It was Himiko.
Okay, now it's starting to get a bit too obvious. But the other room was also prepared. That's how Kokichi hurt himself.
Oh, right.
Also, we should not limit our suspects to only those who participated in the seance. The empty room had a point of entry from outside, you see.
Point of entry from outside. You must be referring to the numerous holes. Well, do I want to say it's where she was or the hole in the corner?
There!
Hole in the corner.
You're talking about under the floor, right? Huh?
Or could I have just clicked anywhere on the floor?
Yes, there's a crawl space under the floor a person could move through. There was also a hole that connected it to the neighboring room.
If the culprit used the hole, they could have entered and exited the seance room.
If we consider that possibility, then there is another suspect.
Another suspect? Who?
Everyone else?
It's appearing before me. Oh, I can see it clearly. The true identity of Tenko's killer.
Yeah. Okay. What are my options? Keep
The
its
culprit
flashlight
sneaked
function.
in during the seance by crawling under the floor.
But it was pitch black during the seance. How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our villain had a light.
Light? You mean candle?
I mean, Kibo's flashlight function.
Huh?
Yeah.
Now,
we're seeing
hold
one
on a
in the hole in
second.
the corner.
Kibo could have used that function to get under the floor and sneak into the empty room during the seance.
I said hold on a second!
He used his robot functions to commit the murders.
Hold on a second!
It's true, with a little light you can move around on the floor. Is that possible?
Light? You mean candle?
Can I lie?
I mean, Kibo's
Flashlight
flashlight
drawbacks.
function.
Huh? Now, hold on a second!
Kibo could have used that function to get under the floor.
There we go.
I'll reveal the truth.
Drew.
Mew, you gave
glad I got
Kibo
that
his
one very
flashlight
quickly.
function, correct?
Last trial I spent forever trying to figure out which lie was correct. Because I didn't know if it was a lie.
Did you not notice?
I didn't notice what.
Hard to believe that Kibo is the culprit in this case. Even harder to believe that this trial isn't being manipulated by someone. Even if I have to lie, I need to defend Kibo.
The drawback of the flashlight function that you added. It's so bright, even Kibo can't see when it's turned on.
Well, I was going to say, you could see it through the floorboards. My god. But, okay.
I see. That bright, huh? Wait, what? There's no way a genius like me would make that kind of rookie mistake!
But you make mistakes a lot. A whole lot.
Oh, Gunter.
Hey! If you're gonna fuck me in front of everyone, at least buy me dinner first!
If he can't see,
Any response,
it
Gunter?
doesn't matter how bright the area is. He couldn't move like that. So Kibo couldn't have been underneath the floor.
Is that true, Kibo? Is what Shuichi said true?
Come on, Kibo. Please, play along.
Well, I'm so sorry. I just don't remember. Really, I'm sorry.
Ah, we get it already! Just turn it off! We're gonna go blind!
You don't remember? What does that even mean?
Well, Shuichi, trying to make a fool out of me, huh? Let me put on some makeup, cause I want to at least look pretty before you decide to fuck me!
That's
Shuichi, I'm so sorry.
Damn, that is seriously bright!
Yes, so they're now going to talk about it being...
Wouldn't the light have shined through
Yes,
the gaps on
thank
the
you.
floorboard if it had been this bright?
yes. The culprit couldn't have used a light under the floor. Not even Kibo.
Oh, they couldn't have?
We were there after all. We would know. There was a hole near the corner of the room we were in, remember? If someone had a light under the floor, it would have leaked through.
But when we did the seance, I'm pretty sure the room was pitch black.
Yep.
That's right. We didn't see anything, so the culprit couldn't have used a light.
And just because I have a built-in flashlight function does not mean I am the culprit.
I see. That was a flaw in my theory.
Is anyone going to call out Richie for lying?
Geez, here I thought this would be the case where the murder could only be done by a robot.
You have accused me of being the culprit more than once now, simply because I am a robot. My status as a robot does not mean I am capable of performing superhuman feats.
Like lifting a iron cage off someone single-handedly.
My vision is somewhat poor, and I only possess average physical strength and intelligence.
All right, you made your point. God, now I feel sort of bad for you.
I neither want nor need your pity.
Enough with the flashlight! It's way too bright!
It would have been difficult to move around under the floor in that pitch-black darkness. Maybe the floor and the hole have nothing to do with this case.
No. Sure there was like night vision goggles or something.
Then why was floorboard under Tenko lined up funny? Going to think that was so culprit could stab Tenko from under floor.
Ooh, nice observation, Gonta. Are you finally getting used to the class trials?
Uh-huh. Thank you.
Don't say it like that. You're better off not being used to this kind of stuff.
Maybe they marked Tenko with glowing paint and looked for that.
Sounds familiar.
That'd let the culprit find her. Then they could stab her through the floorboards.
Boy, that sounds really familiar too! But I'm just gonna ignore it.
Her corpse didn't have any trace of glowing paint, though.
Oh, yeah. So then why was that floorboard loose?
The loose floorboard was the one under Tenko, right? If the culprit used it while she was still alive, she'd totally notice.
Who fucking cares? Fussing over that won't get us closer to the culprit!
I am curious about the floorboard. I mean, I know they've slipped the weapon up, but how does the floorboard affect that?
We shouldn't dismiss this line of inquiry, however. Instead of butting our heads against this, how about we concentrate on another issue?
What other issue?
Other issue?
Perhaps first, we should figure out how and when exactly Tenko was killed.
Thought we already did, but okay, let's go.
When? So not during seance?
Tenko was in the metal cage for the whole seance, wasn't she? How could someone have gotten to her there?
Maybe the culprit killed her before she went under the metal cage.
What?
That's not possible. She was alive at that point.
Yes. She was killed, then she went into the metal cage, voluntarily, as a dead body. Understood. I'll not say a word until the seance is over.
Yes, she was unmistakably alive when the seance began.
So that
was
Kibo's
right before we blew
voice
out the
recording.
candles. But when the light came back...
The floorboard was removed at that point, so it's likely she was already dead then.
Unless they didn't, like, slip the weapon up through the cracks of the floorboards. They actually just moved the floorboard, sort of half got out, and then stabbed her. Suppose there was no noise, though,
So she was killed when the room was dark?
other than the loud thunk noise.
But she was inside Cage, right? Going to think it impossible to kill her then.
Impossible.
Then she wasn't killed when the room was dark. It was a different time.
A different time?
Going around in circles.
How the fuck should I know? You figure it out, shitheads.
Thank you, Mia.
Since Gonta said it was impossible, I'm proposing an alternate theory. Now hurry up and think! If you want to make my golden brain tingle, start circle jerking your limp dick brains!
Yes, Mia. Non-stop debate. What do we got? Are we lying? Telling the truth? And Cage? What
When
is she?
Tenko got killed,
Dog statue.
it wasn't during the seance.
It could not have been done at any other time.
Oh, how? What about the Marker Stone?
She was under the cage the whole time. And she was dead when the cage was lifted.
What about moment Cage was lifted?
Ooh, like that.
When Cage lifted, culprit stabbed Tenko real fast. So fast, no one saw.
Oh my!
So who lifted the cage?
It was me.
Then obviously Himiko is the culprit.
There's no doubt!
Okay.
When Tenko
There's
got
no evidence.
killed,
Okay, so I do have to lie about
it wasn't during the seance.
the iron cage, maybe?
Then obviously Himiko is the culprit.
Whoops, I meant lie, not truth.
It could not have been done at any other
Inside the
time.
cage. Okay, yeah. no.
She was under the cage the whole time.
Yep.
When Cage was lifted.
Nope. Okay. I think we're gonna fail this one. Nope. Okay. Marker Stone, maybe? Oops.
Cage was lifted.
And failed.
What about moment Cage was lifted?
There we go.
That's wrong.
Because there was blood on the sheet, of course. There's already blood on the sheet, meaning...
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't possible to kill her the moment the cage was lifted. Because the inside of the white cloth had Tenko's blood on it. That cloth was removed before the cage was lifted. If Tenko was stabbed then, there wouldn't be blood on the cloth.
What? But how could my golden brain be wrong when it felt so right?
Oh, God.
The only possibility is that Tenko was killed during the seance.
I got your remodel right here!
What?
No, it's still wrong to think that Tenko was killed during the seance.
Why is she so against this?
What?
I'm gonna prove it right now. My golden brain is gonna go all out! Tenko died after the seance. It happened when the sheet was lifted. That was the moment the culprit chose to stab the fuck out of Tenko through the cage! They stuck the thin blade through the gap, and that clean white sheet got stained blood red!
Okay.
But the weapon was a sickle. Only the blade could have fit through the gaps.
The blade's all you need. If you stick the blade through a gap in the cage, it'd be long enough to reach Tenko. sitting in there with her neck all exposed. She wasn't that far from the cage's gaps. In which case,
Oops.
the person who lifted the sheet is the culprit, and that's none other than Kyo! The blade's all you need.
What was the...
If you stick the blade through a gap in the cage, it'd be long enough to reach Tenko,
Loose floorboard?
sitting in there with her neck all exposed. Sitting in there with her neck all exposed.
Nope. I guess loose floorboard
Sitting in there
then.
with her neck all exposed.
Nope, apparently not. That's
It'd
not
be
Marcus
long
stone,
enough to
that's
reach
like the only one I
Tenko.
haven't done.
Sitting in there with her neck all exposed.
I'll cut through your words.
Okay, well this one I genuinely don't know.
Wait just a minute. Tenko wasn't sitting down inside the cage. She was bent over with her forehead against the marker stone,
Oh, that's what she meant. Okay.
and the cage itself was about 3 feet tall. The sickle's blade was too short to reach Tenko while she was in that position.
Then I messed up again? How could this happen? I am so
Please,
embarrassed.
just stop talking.
No worries, Mew. Everyone already knows you're an embarrassment to the human race.
Yeah, no worries.
How embarrassing!
If Shuichi is right, then it's impossible for Tenko to have been killed through the cage.
Yes, we know.
She couldn't have been killed during the seance since she was in the cage, right?
If she was killed then, the cloth over the cage would have been pierced.
Not during the seance or from below the floor. Then it's impossible, isn't it?
Yeah, for a living
Who
person.
just missed it from below the floor?
Huh?
What if Angie's spirit killed Tenko?
What are you talking about? That's not possible!
We don't know that. Some things are impossible for a human, but not for a spirit.
Don't say stupid stuff like that! Screw spirits!
Stop that now.
Angie's spirit killed Tenko? Why?
At least now we might be getting to accusing Tenko of killing Angie.
Himiko?
Why would Angie's spirit kill Tenko?
What if Tenko killed Angie, and then Angie's spirit came back for revenge?
Like I said, that's impossible! Spirits can't be culprits!
Then explain how the culprit killed Tenko under these impossible circumstances.
We have plenty of evidence to prove it's possible.
Well,
That's because it's dark, really?
See? You can't explain, can you? Only a spirit could have done that!
wait! I know! What if the culprit was hiding inside the cage?
What?
If they were in there, they could have stabbed Tenko during the seance.
No, if there was someone else in the cage, we would have
I agree
noticed.
with Kaito. The culprit could have been inside the cage.
Nonsense. There was no space in the cage for the culprit to hide.
Maybe the culprit wouldn't need to hide in the first place.
What?
Also, the culprit could have killed her in the cage at any time. I think you know what I'm getting at, right?
No. Or unless you're saying she killed herself.
I believe Maki is referring to Tenko herself.
I don't understand how.
What did you say?
Well, she was speaking like she was going to die. Like she knew she was going to.
Are you saying Tenko is the culprit?
She committed suicide.
Suicide?
I wonder if this will get the video flagged.
If she committed suicide, it would explain a lot of things we couldn't figure out. She volunteered to be in the cage and then stabbed herself during the seance. It wouldn't matter how dark the room was.
But the sickle she was stabbed with was under the floor, right? If Tenko had stabbed herself, wouldn't the sickle still be inside the cage?
Oh my god. Mew actually
Oh my
said
God.
something smart.
Perhaps that explains why the floorboard was removed. After stabbing herself with the sickle, she threw it underneath the floor.
I feel like that would be an instant death.
So she took off the floorboard to get rid of the sickle?
Yes, that makes sense to Gonta.
Well, it doesn't make sense to me. There's no reason for Tenko to commit suicide.
Killed Angie.
Maybe I wasn't too far off with the theory I had earlier. You know, about Tenko killing Angie.
Yeah?
Because Tenko and Angie were fighting for your attention, right?
Glad we're now getting to the point.
Tenko's pent-up frustration led her to commit such an atrocity. Her conscience couldn't handle it anymore. So she...
Whoops.
What?
Decided to end her own life.
But if she was gonna kill herself, why do it during the seance?
She wanted to hide the truth of her suicide.
But then that would get everyone else killed. No, because that's right, her death would be pointless. But she didn't know that at the time.
Really? Why?
There could only be one reason to hide it in a killing game, right? It's to take us down with her.
Well, that's a look.
Take us down?
She wanted us to pick the wrong answer during the class trial. So she could bring us all down. She wanted us to die with her. Okay, well, she probably just wanted Himiko to die with her, but still.
But what are you saying? Tenko wasn't like that.
No, of course not.
She told me.
Yeah, survive with me and everyone else.
What if all of that was just a lie?
A lie?
Wait, we should believe Tenko's last words.
The true terror of class trials is that you shouldn't believe everything said.
Himiko, you said that Tenko would never do anything like that. But how can you be so sure? Did you guys actually know each other? People keep all sorts of secrets. Like Maki. She hid the fact that she's a cold-blooded killer. Is it wise of us to trust other people wholeheartedly in this kind of situation?
Maybe.
Jeez, you're such a naive dude.
Naive?
We're all just people, you know? Of course we're gonna have some secrets. What matters is whether there's any malice behind them.
Fair enough. That's pretty deep of him.
People can lie about how malicious their hidden secrets really are.
Well, duh. It's impossible to know for sure what others are thinking. That's why it all comes down to whether or not you believe in yourself. If you get betrayed, it's not their fault. It's your fault for believing in them. That's why I believed in Maki Roll, because I wanted to believe in her.
Just because you're acting all cool doesn't mean you get to skip training.
I guess she's given up arguing against Maki Roll.
Hey, come on. Don't you think you're being a little too strict?
Well, we come from different backgrounds. So for now, let's agree to disagree. No one's ever called me naive before. And from Kaito? Seriously?
Whether or not I believe. My heart can't reach Tenko anymore. But I want to believe in her. She wouldn't commit suicide. She wouldn't try to take us down. That's what I want to believe!
Okay.
Me too. Gonta no can believe Tenko commits suicide.
But if Tenko did commit suicide, that would answer all of our questions.
If you insist we believe in Tenko, then provide a reason to do so.
All right, I'll give you a reason.
Okay.
Is there a reason?
Yes, there is. Will you trust me, Maki? If it turns out I'm wrong, you can blame me all you like. But for now, I need you to trust in my detective work.
I don't believe Tenko would kill herself because of what she said. I'll see you guys after the seance. Let's see you guys after. I doubt she had a sudden change of heart. Just because you don't know how she was killed doesn't mean that it was suicide. We shouldn't be satisfied with that. If we keep thinking, we'll find the truth. And that means we have to believe in Tenko. I'll make them all believe